Yong Byum, who was always an obedient son and never went against his parents' wishes, didn't even realize he was losing control of his own life. In the end, he failed to give Ji Myung the certainty she needed and, unable to make a clear decision, ended up marrying a woman he didn't love. A long time later, in a scene depicting the passage of time, Yong Byum is seen returning home from work, looking extremely lonely and exhausted. The only person there to greet him is his mother, sitting on the sofa in a desolate state. A wedding photo hanging in the house suggests that he did get married, but no one in the picture appears to be smiling except for his mother. This implies that Yong Byum went through with an unwanted marriage at her insistence. The house is dark and lifeless, and since there's no sign of his wife, it seems likely that his marriage wasn't a happy one. Yong Byum's dialogue also reveals a deep sense of regret about the past. In the end, wouldn't marrying the person he truly loved have been the best choice, not just for himself, but even for his parents? If he had been happy, wouldn't that have been the greatest gift to them? Gwon-sik's mother, despite her strong initial opposition, eventually found harmony with Lee-sun. Meanwhile, Ji Myung, just as Lee-sun had once done for her, boldly took action, broke off her engagement, and started a new life. However, Yong Byum never truly managed to do the same. Could it be that the woman Yong Byum married was Yerim? The face in the wedding photo looks quite similar. Yerim was a school friend of Ji Myung's, though she gradually distanced herself and even looked down on her. She envied Ji Myung and often tried to take what she had. Yerim also already knew Yong Byum well, as seen in the scene where they eat together. In fact, among all the characters in the story, the two who most resemble each other in their attitude of evaluating and dismissing people based on wealth are Yong Byum's mother and Yerim. They likely married under the assumption that their conditions matched, but in the end, Yong Byum was left unhappy. By the time we see him returning home from work, the relationship is so cold that his wife doesn't even bother to come out and greet him. Even in old age, Yong Byum's mother still tells him that he would have been even more miserable had he married someone else. This statement seems to be an acknowledgement of his current unhappiness. If Yong Byum and Yerim had prioritized their own happiness instead of worrying about others, both might have found true fulfillment. Yong Byum would have married Ji Myung, and Yerim would have focused on her own desires rather than being fixated on Ji Myung. In that sense, Yong Byum and Yerim ended up marrying someone similar to themselves, just as Ji Myung did. She married Chung-soo, whose unwavering dedication to his art remained unchanged no matter what the theater owner said. Even when depicting daring themes like Bayan Kong-so and Ima Bin, he expressed them in his own unique way. He is the complete opposite of Yong Byum, who constantly wavered under external pressure. It turns out that Gwon-sik was the one meant to be with Ji Myung all along. The title of his poem, The Heart Goes Ing, reflects his simple yet sincere expression of love. The external world may be harsh, but deep inside, his heart remains pure and affectionate. At first, I thought Yong Byum was meant to be Gwon-sik's poetic counterpart. Even their names seemed connected. Ji Myung shares her father's name, after all. But in the end, Yong Byum only resembled Gwon-sik on the surface. Deep down, he wasn't like him at all. The one who truly embodied Gwon-sik's steadfast nature was Chung-soo. His paintings, created with unwavering passion, prove it. And when he stood before the landlord's daughter and boldly compared her school to Seoul National University, it was incredibly satisfying. He didn't compare himself to others because he didn't know how, he simply didn't care to. He even uplifted Ji Myung in the process. In the winter of Pelong, we see a moment where Chung-soo, dressed in his military uniform, rides the bus with Ji Myung. This connection eventually leads to the wedding ceremony scene. So perhaps the reason Ji Myung is crying at her wedding isn't because she is marrying someone she doesn't love, but because she has overcome so much and is overwhelmed with gratitude. In the end, she confidently walks down the aisle on her own terms. Isn't that something to look forward to? What do you all think? I'll be back with another story. When life gives you tangerines, don't forget to subscribe.